Here's a sticky one. Imagine buying your dream Porsche and then getting hit with a $102,000 repair bill because of an oil change gone wrong. We're going to dissect how it's expensive to be cheap and why people are ranting and hate the service repair bills when heading to the dealership. The cost of ownership is very expensive with these hyper luxury cars. I want to jump straight into it, but before that, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Support the show, and that helps with the YouTube algorithm. If you really want to help the channel, become a member. Watch the full video. Let's jump straight in.
My guys, today is the day I'm finally getting my new car. But before I show you guys my new car, let's do a story time on why I need a new car, okay? So November 2024, I got a brand new car, a Porsche Cayenne, and I loved it. It was perfect, white, black interior, all leather, just the perfect car. I have 2 kids, so I needed something that I, wouldn't get filthy. About 2 months into getting this car, I started getting these service lights that went off, okay? First time I took it straight to Porsche, and they said that I needed like a bunch of work done on it. So I needed new brakes, I needed a bunch of stuff. They quoted me like $10,000 for it. I was like, okay, hold on. So I ended up calling my uncle. He has a dealership, and I was like, hey, they're quoting me this. He's like, pull the car, like I can do all of that. I'll service it. Cool. Took it to him, got new brakes, got a bunch of stuff that it needed, under $10,000. So it was good, thank God. After that, I was pretty good for probably about 6-7 months, and then my service engine light came on again, and this was probably about August 2025 at this point. So it goes on, and I'm like, oh, I probably need an oil change. It was an oil light, not an engine service light. It was an oil change, whatever. I was like, okay, I need an oil change. Yeah, probably about time. I hadn't gotten one since I got the car. So I take it to a Jiffy Lube, and they were like, oh, we don't touch these cars. Like, these cars are foreign. Sorry, we don't touch them. And I'm like, okay, whatever. Like, it's just a car. I need an oil change. Like, whatever. Ended up leaving. What am I going to do?
That's a red flag. That's a hiccup you could have avoided. That's like taking a mink coat downstairs to the apartment laundry. Crazy how some people don't think. Let's keep going.
Their engine or another oil spot, and I'm like, hey, I need an oil change. And then kind of same thing, they looked at me weird, and I was like, what? They're like, well, we don't carry this type of oil, we don't carry these filters. And I'm just like, okay, like, what am I supposed to do? And then they're like, if you want us to service it, like, you need to go get it. You need to go get the oil. You need to go get the filter. So that's what I did. Okay. I went to AutoZone because I was just like, at this point, looking up, like, where do I get this? Where do I get that? Whatever. So went to AutoZone. I told them, like, hey, my car needs an oil change. I gave them the VIN number. They looked it up. They told me, oh, it requires this amount of oil. You need this type of filter. Cool. Like, they looked at my exact VIN and gave me the stuff specific to the vehicle. I even asked them, I was like, can you double check? They're like, yeah. Got the stuff, left AutoZone, took it back to the oil spot and told them, okay, I got the stuff. Like, is this the right stuff? And they looked at it. They're like, yeah, cool. They looked it up in their system. They did the work. Cool, check, right? I got an oil change, whatever. This was probably in like August. No, this is probably October at this point. And then I drove it pretty cool for like, I want to say maybe 3 months, like everything was good. And then fast forward to the end of January, I get another light that comes on my car, and I'm like, what the heck could it be? Like, I just got an oil change. I don't know what it is. And mind you, I got this light, I think it came on like a Thursday. I was flying out to Seattle the next morning, so I didn't think much of it. I was like, I can't do anything. Like, I'm leaving tomorrow morning. I don't have time to take it to Porsche to go, whatever. I still hadn't packed our bag. So got this light. It came on a Thursday, went on a trip, came back on Monday, and I turned my car on and the light came on again, but then the car was making like a really weird noise. And I'm like, okay, this is weird. So I get on the phone with Porsche. I schedule an appointment, and I ended up taking it in my car. And when I got there, they're like, oh, like it's an oil light. I was like, what could it be? Like, I just got an oil change probably 3 months ago. I don't drive crazy like that, so it's not like I need another one. And they're like, honestly, like with Porsches, they have a certain amount of oil that they use each year. And if you are a Porsche driver, like 3 times per year, you can take it in. They give complimentary oil swaps, whatever it is. I don't know, like verbatim. I can't quote what he said, but he said something about like it's complimentary oil that they put in the vehicles because those cars use a lot of oil. I was like, okay.
She could not have dealt with this headache, but this is when things start really trickling down and becoming a burden. Let's keep going.
But then I told him, I was like, but it's also making like this really weird noise. He asked me to turn it on. He listened to the noise, and he's like, oh yeah, like we're gonna run a diagnostic on it. They didn't get around to finishing it, so I ended up leaving it there. And then I get a call 2 or 3 days later. I get a call and an email. Tell me why they quoted me $102,000 and some change, $102,000 and some change, because there were metal shavings in my oil casket.
Wow. Engine has severe internal damage, metal shavings in the oil filter housing, $102,000. Yeah.
Why would you even quote me $102,000? Just recommend a new vehicle at that point. I'm like, who is going to pay $102,000? Mind you, I still had $30,000 left to pay on this car. So I'm already thinking, like, if this car's a total loss, what am I going to do? I'm pissed off. So I ended up pulling the car from the Porsche. I paid the diagnostic. I didn't have them service it because who's going to pay $102,000, and got it to my uncle's shop. His guy ran the diagnostic, and sure enough, he confirmed that literally there were like little metal fragment pieces in my oil line. This is where you guys need to tell me, because I'm like, was I wrong not taking it to the Porsche dealership? Probably. I'm just a girl. I'm just trying to get an oil change. At the same time, like, how is all the oil and the filter, how is that wrong if I cross-referenced it 2-3 times? I'm in the process of like trying to see if I have a case here. I spoke with a couple people, and they're like, you definitely have a case. You just need to get a couple pieces of paperwork together for the attorney. I'm just so mad because I loved that car. Like, it was the perfect car for me to be in. And I literally plan on being in that car for like 5+ years. So I was mad. So anyways, kind of been going through the process, and now fast forward, we're in better spirits. I'm finally getting my new car today.
Imagine taking a Porsche to a Jiffy Lube. Like I said, taking a mink coat to the apartment community laundry. That's what this sounded like. It's crazy as hell to think that. Like, no type of critical thinking or at least a little bit of common sense to be like, nah, let me not do that. And you had 3 complimentary oil changes and you still did that? Being cheap is very expensive. What do you mean? Was I wrong? Yes, 100% you're wrong. Accountability is important. And it's sad because it's hard to feel sympathetic for this type of situation because you make good money, you have a nice car, you have to take care of these nice things. And that means that the quality of work has to match the car's brand. And this is when people realize that you don't really own the Porsche, it owns you, especially when it comes to maintenance. Don't give me an expensive bill like that. Just tell me to get a new car. Well, they know that people have an attachment to these cars. You said it yourself. I really love that car. I wanted to keep it for 4 or 5 years. Yeah, then take care of it. If you can afford a Porsche, you should just take it to the dealership, not just any shop. Why on earth would you take the Porsche to Jiffy Lube? That's the question of the day. A Porsche to Jiffy Lube? What did I learn? One, I cannot afford a Porsche. So somebody asked, okay, so what happened? I have a Porsche and I need an oil change and don't want to pay $1,800. Yo, that is a mortgage payment. You boys played a wrong game. She responds and says, I took the hit. I ended up having to pay the $30K, got the pink slip and sold it as is. I didn't get much for it as I still needed to pay off, but honestly was just glad I got something. I recommend you to take yours to a Porsche to get an oil change. It's definitely more expensive, but it's not worth someone else messing it up if you take it somewhere else. Somebody said she didn't do her homework on a Porsche.
It's going to cost $16,000 to replace this piece on this Porsche. Valve cover gaskets on these Panameras. This is a 2013. It's got about 80,000 miles on it. It starts to leak. Fortunately, you have to take all this down to be able to replace the cover itself. To do the job right, you have to replace all the worn out, the railings.
Yeah, it seems like a headache. We're just going to leave it at that. That's literally a used Camry. That's literally a used Honda Accord. That's literally a student loan payment, a full student loan balance. That's a down payment to a house. That $16,000 could literally buy a business and live off really well with that. $16,000? Just throw the whole car away, bro. Just put the fries in the bag, bro. Let me just go to Facebook Marketplace and buy a $16,000 car. But again, you signed a contract, so you're liable. And you cannot escape the death grip of debt and luxury purchases. Stop playing with these people, huh?
Just picked up my Panamera from the Porsche dealership. Got the oil change done. And it ran me $400. So think twice before you push a foreign whip.
If it ain't foreign, then it's boring. That's what gets people in trouble. If it ain't foreign, it's boring. I want to be boring. I want to keep more money in my pockets. I do not want that flex and that headache. How do y'all sleep at night? $400? Depending on how much you make, that's like almost 20 to 30 hours of going to work every day. All for it to go to a car? See, we live in 2 different lives, man. We playing 2 different games. No thanks. Drove BMWs for years. Paid those expensive maintenance and repair bills. Love my Chevy truck, $50 synthetic oil and filter changes. Do not buy a Porsche if you're complaining about the maintenance bill. He said, nobody's complaining. Sure sounds like it. You bought it used, huh? Yeah, 40K miles. It's not bad. Imagine not filling your oil yourself. Some people are not that handy, man. That's cheap as hell. Oh, okay. 12 years of German cars. Now with Tesla, what maintenance? It's public knowledge that Porsche oil changes are around $400, right? Here's the thing, right? Luxury cars are not expensive because of the price tag when you first buying it. They're expensive because of everything afterwards, right? So the oil changes usually are like from, let's just say, 200 to 800. Brakes, 2,000 plus. But one mistake of being cheap, and that's $100,000 engine repair that we just seen, right? Some people are treating a Porsche like it's a Toyota. It costs a pretty penny for you to walk into different rooms of luxury and prestige that you're chasing and trying to attain. So cough up. Don't clutch the pearls when it comes to taking care of the whip, right? That's like having a kid and saying, I don't want to take care of it. Now that's on the extreme side. But this is on a lower level where you could be like, yeah, these people cannot really afford these cars. And I'm not judging, but a big telltale sign is if you can afford the maintenance and have money saved up for an emergency repair like this, then you can afford it.
Everybody on TikTok loves seeing the prices of things.
We definitely do. I promise you, we definitely do. It makes us feel good about ourselves because we like to learn from other people's experiences, especially in this channel. So consider liking, sharing, and subscribing.
I would love to just share in a little bit of my pain with all of y'all. I just picked up my Porsche Macan from the dealership here in town, and let me tell you, insane. It is excessive for the sake of being excessive. These cars are higher end and they're wonderful and everybody, it's just great, and you know, they perform, and it's just the cost of ownership. It's because I promise you it's more than what you're gonna put down.
I say 6,000. 6,000.
Remove and replace rear brake pads and rotors. Adjust rear washer nozzle to hit windshield. Replace spark plugs. Replace right side marker light bulb. It's just a little orange light bulb that goes in the front bumper and turns on when the lights are on at night. You ready? You ready? $8,428.57. And then, on top of all of that, they have the audacity. Bulb was $8.88. It cost me $268.88 for them to replace the light bulb.
Yeah. It costs to be the boss. You guys buy these cars, but can't afford to own them. That's the biggest thing. You got to do your little bit of a research, at least do a little bit of like some sort of research to be like, damn, I don't want those headaches. I made good money. Let me keep some of it. Nah, right? Let me stretch my monthly payments, skip proper maintenance to save money, right? Go to cheaper shops, $8,000. Again, I bought my Toyota Camry 2012 for $8,000. You're telling me just the oil change and all those things you had to do cost that much? God, I could just imagine the insurance and the monthly payment and the student loans and the consumer debt. Nah, you're cooked. You're buried. Doesn't matter how much money you make. At the end of the day, wealth is created by the money you don't spend. Y'all spending money on toys. Crazy. Comment down below what you think. Oof.
I had to fill you guys in on the tea because it's expensive. Every time you go to the dealership, you're going to be spending at least $2,000 to $5,000. I spent $7,000 a few months ago. I'm here at the dealership now because I had a nail in my tire and I needed an oil change. And I'm leaving the dealership spending about $2,000. You guys, yes, it's an amazing car and I absolutely love it, but just know it's super expensive. Yeah, MJ's like, Mama, are you spending all this money?
Like $7,000 a couple months ago and now $2,000 repair bill just for some oil change and a nail. Y'all do understand, like dealership make most of their money. The majority of the profits comes from the service department. It's $2,000. And I was going through the comments and she's now saying Honda me. It's funny how people know that which car is good for them, but because of image and appearance, it's like people forget. It's like they're in a drunk state. $2,000 is some people's car payment for literally 4 months, 5 months. $7,000 in some people's whole yearly car payment. If it's like $400 or $500, you're spending that on maintenance. It'll be more depressing if you put it on a credit card on top of having a high car payment. If you're making these repair bills with credit card debt, it's crazy, crazy world we live in. But again, it costs to be the boss.
Dad paid $500 for an oil change. This is his 2019 Porsche Cayenne, and he took it to the dealership the other day and paid $500 for just an oil change. Now, first of all, I don't know why he did that. We could have done it for probably less than $200 if we did it ourselves. This car still is under warranty, but I'm pretty sure you can still decline stuff like that because it's just recommended. But here's the bill right here, and as you can see, $511 bucks. Now, the main reason he was actually there is because one of the common problems on these Cayennes is actually that these door handles get a little crack in them. It's not really a big issue, and the dealer does replace it under warranty. It happened up there, and I think this one they replaced now. So that was free, and he also had to get 2 new front tires, which were pretty bald. Just in the front, and as you can see, these got some nice deep tread now, which is actually pretty useful because it just snowed here. And also, if you were wondering, tires were another $1,000.
Going cheap on certain things, right, is going to cost you a headache later. Being cheap is very expensive. And it's not the purchases that breaks these people, right? Again, guys, we just seen that it's the maintenance that they never planned for that really destroys wallets and destroys people's paychecks. But at the end of the day, you should know what comes with this. You should know the game. It's like going into a situation or a game or a certain neighborhood and not knowing what you're dealing with. All right? It is a recipe for self-destruction, a recipe for your own demise and diminishing yourself. That's what it is. You wanted the badge. The badge has a price tag, and the price tag is going to cost you damn near 6 figures within 2 years for you to keep up with it. I don't care how much money you make, like I said, right? Again, it's all about the money you don't spend that creates wealth. I wouldn't make a video like this without giving you guys solutions. But if it was me and I love Porsches, one of my dream cars, here's how to avoid the $102,000 right disaster that we dealt with. Is that you cannot go to generic shops. You have to go to specialists, shop around for specialists, right? And they have to be certified or independent Porsche specialists. Not no damn quick lube chains. You feel me? Avoid Jiffy Lube. Avoid all these Dollar General type of stores where they deal with oil changes, right? You have to budget before buying. If you cannot comfortably save $3,000 to $5,000 yearly upkeep, you cannot afford the car. You have to get a pre-purchase inspection. The car history, always. There's no exceptions. I'm sorry to tell you that. History is important, right? Because if you don't do that, you're buying somebody else's problem. That girl ended up selling her car. I feel sorry for the next dude. Consider extended warranties. With these type of cars, you need extended warranties because they have made it very hard. Complicated engines, right? And expensive parts, expensive labor, right? Especially for high performance models or used models. You got to do the due diligence of doing things and just buy smarter models, right? Some Porsches are way more reliable than others, just like any other car. So it's important to do your due diligence, your research, and not just look at the brand and the image and the logo and the status and the prestige. Easy homework, easy quick maths. If you do all that and can afford all that, have fun, man. Rev faster, go faster, drive responsibly. The brand, they have a really good brand image. They have good status. They have position. They have a good heritage. All right. And honestly, they just feel different. They're engineered different. They're addictive. But again, what they don't tell you is how expensive it is to upkeep these things. Please do your research. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm in the video here. Please, if you want to help the channel grow, you know the drill. And if you really want to help support the channel, join to become a member. I appreciate you guys for always tuning in. Make sure to comment too. I really want to know your thoughts and opinion. Which part stood out to you the most? Do you own a Porsche? Is it easy to maintain? Or do you skip out like the first lady did? With that being said, be good, do good. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.